What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today, I actually have a little bit of a treat for you guys, and that is some Battlefield 4 gameplay. Yes, I finally went back, and tried out Battlefield 4 again. I gotta say, it's a little rough here and there because usually the people who play Battlefield 4 are hardcore vets of this game. I mean, they play it nonstop every day, so people are cracked at it. But there are still plenty of other servers that you can go ahead and, navigate through to try to find the optimal experience for you. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out this game still, I think it's still populated on console. I'm not too sure, but on PC, there are tons of servers to go around and bounce in and out of. But ladies and gentlemen, today we have a fantastic topic about Battlefield 2042. And I don't think it's going to be amazing for everyone because I know people, including myself, have no hopes or any expectations out of 2042 becoming a better game. But for anybody who is still tugging along with this title and hoping for a better future, I don't know how it could possibly still do that, but if you're still one of those people who are trying to push through with this game, this is going to be great news. Now, over on Twitter, Battlefield Bulletin put out a tweet basically confirming that the next thing that the developers will be focusing on is going to be the specialists. Do you remember they opened up that communication loop so the developers can get a better understanding of what the community actually wants? Well, yes, they're going to make sure the main priority of that conversation loop is going to be pointed towards the direction of specialists in the very near future now. Now, this is great news, once again, like I said, for people who are still tugging along with Battlefield 2042, because this means that you guys are finally going to be able to have your voices heard. Again, for me personally, I could care less, but I know specialists are a massive problem when it comes to this game, and I don't think they're going to go ahead and completely strip them out of the game, but even if they can rearrange them to work as a traditional class system that fits in the Battlefield world, I think that will be 10 million times better than what they have currently in place. And even though it's not going to please everybody, it will still make a majority of the people happy. But this right here is much more larger than just going ahead and helping out Battlefield 2042. This is our last chance at being able to have our voices being heard. I'm telling you guys this right now. I don't care if you hate Battlefield 2042 with all of your heart. I don't care if you never want to see this game or talk about this game again. I do not care. If you want to see anything out of the future of this franchise, which tons of people do not want to see anything out of the future of this franchise, and that's good. If you don't want to deal with that anymore, that's more power for you. You're going to, avoid a possible, disaster in the future. So that's better. But if you are having more expectations for the future of this franchise, you have to make sure your voice is heard right here and right now. Because this isn't just going to be able to fix it for 2042, but this is going to be able to point them in the right direction for the future of the franchise. If you guys don't remember, even though they admitted that a lot of problems in 2042 have been horrible and they're trying to learn from their mistakes in the past for their next game, that doesn't mean they're going to go ahead and change the direction. A lot of the developers were saying that the next game is pointed in the direction of being another hero shooter. It's going to be 2042, but basically on steroids. And obviously, they can go ahead and keep that. Even though Marcus is going out here saying that he wants a very nitty-gritty, hardcore military experience, that doesn't mean they're going to remove specialists. They can still keep specialists in the game and make it, a nitty-gritty war experience. But nobody wants that. People want the traditional class system. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have to come back and make our point extremely clear. Now, we have no clue if this is actually going to work. If we give our feedback about the specialists, are they going to listen to it? Because yes, they have been a little bit more open with the community, especially around the maps and stuff like that, but we still haven't gotten any feedback on how that loop is going. Now, we have gotten more information. According to Battlefield Bulletin, the follow-up for maps is presently scheduled to go live before end of week. Next update will be considerable, mostly bug fixes, potential rubber banding fix, plus looking at changes to vehicle balance and weapon attachment behavior. So, as you see here, they are planning to go ahead and tell us about the maps within, I think, the next week they're going to let us know. Now, the sad part about this whole thing is the next update will not include any updates for the map design. Basically, the next update is coming out in April, and it's only going to be bug fixes. So that means the maps are going to be pushed back tremendously, which means, the time that we get with the specialist talk is going to be a little bit shorter, and it's going to take a little bit more time until we can actually discuss it because they're still clearly working on the maps here, which is good. I want them to take as much time as they need to go ahead and learn how to make a map here because, like I said, 2042, I just don't care about. I would rather them learn how to make the game with 2042, use it as a building block like Legos, let them mess around in it, perfect it, make it better, and then obviously will perfect the next Battlefield game once everybody has more knowledge here. But I'm getting a bit off topic here. The point I'm trying to make is that in less than a week, we will see if this, open loop discussion truly works. Because I already know what tons of people want out of these maps. I've already read through all the discussion list. we're going to see if they're truly taking our feedback and if they're implementing it in a correct way. And if they are, good for us. If they're not, then we're going to have some problems here. But regardless, until that day comes, we still have to make sure our voices are heard when the specialist situation comes alive, because they can hear us when we come in numbers. They know what's wrong when we actually give them legitimate feedback. For example, with the petition, it was a lot more than just wanting refunds out of the petition. People were signing that to get public notice of how trash this game truly was, and it worked. Multiple different news sources and outlets picked up the story of, this massive petition of 200,000+ people who are that irritated with the game. They want all of their money back from it. It has been picked up, pushed out, and so many different people who don't even give a crap about video games have basically seen what EA is truly capable of when it comes to scheming people out of their hard-earned money. We are at our best when we're vocal. It's a different story when it comes to the Call of Duty community. Call of Duty, it's almost like we're at our worst when we're vocal. We never get heard. We never get any fixes done. But when it comes to Battlefield, we are always at our best when we are vocal. When we are quiet and we accept things, DICE is extremely quick to push their agenda on us. But when we fight back and we say no, usually over some time, we eventually get our way. Tons of things in Battlefield 5, along coming up into Battlefield 2042, we have been very open about, and they have accepted it at this point. Again, they're very stubborn. They're not going to listen at first, but if we put enough force, and hopefully not even force, because you don't want to be mean or evil about it, but you have to make them understand where we're coming from, especially as Battlefield fans. Specialists just doesn't help for the overall atmosphere of Battlefield. First off, it doesn't help with the team-based gameplay. Nobody runs around in a squad because each specialist almost seems catered to a single-player playstyle. Nothing is really made besides the medics like Falk or Angel. There's not really anything else to run because everything else is just completely made to have, overpowered specialist ability. Basically like Call of Duty, Overwatch, just a little side specialist that you could use that gives you and yourself only an advantage. Now, I thought this was going to work out in the beginning. I thought they're going to go ahead and people were going to, pick up ammo and they're going to pick up meds and they're going to actually be helpful for their team, but it didn't. It did not lead to that. I thought the Battlefield community was better than this, but shoot, let's be honest here. Even in games like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, people who run medic classes don't even pick up their teammates anyways. So I guess I was trusting the community a little too much with stripping the class system and just, hoping they would just, pick stuff up like that because I enjoy using whatever guns I want. But obviously, we don't really need that. As you see here in Battlefield 4, you can still pick, any gun that you really, want to use. There's carbines, ARs for your categories and stuff like that. If you're an engineer, you can still use ARs. You don't have to use SMGs. There's a little bit more variety. They can still use this platform and it'll work perfectly fine. But the specialists just simply don't work for the overall team play. Nobody's repairing vehicles, nobody's healing teammates, nobody's dropping ammo. It's basically what, we had back in the day where it was already bad enough, but people still did it. Now it's just 10 times worse to where nobody does anything. Second off, the specialists don't make any sense at Battlefield because it's too many players on the map to have repetitive individuals in the lobby. You see, when you're playing Call of Duty, it's a 6v6 and you have two different factions, and they don't even have factions. Call of Duty has specialists, but they still split them into two different teams. Now, Vanguard's a different story. They have Team A versus Team B, which I absolutely hate, but it's still 6v6, There's not many players. But when you have 128 players on the battlefield and you see 60 Falcons running across the field, it takes you out of the immersion. When you're in Call of Duty, you kind of have a different mindset of what type of battle that you're in, even in the more of the realistic, games, even though Call of Duty's never realistic, but, games like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, there's only 12 people in every single lobby, so it's more like a little tight skirmish of, elite squads when it comes to a Call of Duty game. But in Battlefield, these are all-out battles. You don't have the same individual across the whole battlefield, you know what I'm saying? And even though, you have your assault, your engineer, and all this other stuff, and they run the same skins on the same team, at the end of the day, I like to have more of a generic feel when it comes to being a specialist or an operator that's, partaking in this battle, because there's so many of us. When you identify a specialist as one elite individual, and then you see 50,000 of them, it just doesn't make any sense. Honestly, they should just went with customizing your own character, making what you want to look like, and then putting you out on the battlefield. That way they can still have their customization, their microtransactions for the characters. They can sell shirts, pants, full body gear, weapon cam, whatever they want, because you're going to put it on your own personal character. They can still sell stuff, and at the same time they could push that specialist agenda by allowing you to be your own personal specialists, But in Battlefield, This whole system just doesn't work compared to smaller game types like in Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, where, like I said, they're tinier skirmishes, with more elite soldiers on tiny teams instead of having 60+ individuals. It's a whole different world. But ladies and gentlemen, I really hope this all gets fixed. I hope we get our voices heard. And like I said, regardless if you like Battlefield 2042 or not, you have to get your point across on this one. We have to. Because this isn't for 2042, this is for the future of the franchise. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like button if you hated it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, do so on Twitter and Discord, both the link down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games, do it on Twitch, link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.